We have arrived in Santiago, Chile to an entourage of greeters. This is the capital city of Chile, a city of 5.5, 6 million people. We officially begin the tour starting from our hotel, the Ritz-Carlton. Saturday, another beautiful bright day here in Santiago. We're off to explore to the metro to take a trip to downtown Santiago. Strolling to the central market down the Plaza de Armas, a pedestrian street. And Janice is looking at ice cream. And after a good stroll through town, we arrive at our destination, the Central Market. This is the most dangerous place in Santiago for pickpockets and thefts. One could say one thing for sure at the market here: if you eat here, the fruit and the vegetables and the fish are fresh. The city of Santiago was founded by a conquistador that no one has ever heard of, Don Pedro de Villa. Must polish the name of the founder of Santiago. Places where people can get their pictures taken on horses here in the square of the Plaza de Armas. It's Sunday, cool, overcast, and we are with Ignacio, who will be taking us on our tour of Santiago. We are walking to the top of the Spanish fort, built in 1540s when the city was founded to protect them against the Mapuche Indians. This is the national tree of Chile. And this fort is guarded by this gun, which was actually used against the Indians in the 1540s. These are Mapuche burial statues that are put on top of graves. We are now at the top of San Lucia Fort, looking down towards the presidential palace and all of the government buildings in the center of town. This is the Air Force Officers Club. This is the presidential palace where the president lives, and Chile is 200 years old. Changing of the guard. The main thing to do up here is to hike up 200 stairs to get this view. Those 200 steps lead you right up to this statue, which is the twin to the one in Rio de Janeiro. After spending 4 days in Santiago, we fly 600 miles south to the town of Puerto Montt.
It's Tuesday, March 8th, and we are in the town of Puerto Varas, a town of 30,000.
Puerto Varas is an old German town founded in 1851. This tourist town is on a lake whose name is
Yankee Way.
And there is a gorgeous view across the lake of this very tall volcanic peak, whose name is
Osorio.
Our hotel in Puerto Varas is Las Cumbres, a beautiful hotel built on top of a hill, which we will now climb. We began a 3 days treacherous crossing of the Andes Mountains. We begin Wednesday morning here at this waterfall as we are proceeding from Puerto Varas to Puebla, a town of 100, deeper in the Andes Mountains. The road ends here at the lake's edge, so we abandon this van and board this boat to sail across the lake to the town of Puebla. As we look at the elementary school in Puebla, this is an old Mapuche trail from Argentina to Chile that was reopened only in the 1890s. This is Hotel Natura in Puebla, Chile, the traditional halfway stop of the arduous trek across the Andes Mountains to Bariloche, Argentina. It did take us 4 hours via bus and boat to get here. There are no land routes. The zip line adventure, known as Canopy, begins right here.
Cross them or keep them together, okay? That's your choice. Your hands. You have one hand with only one glove and another one with a glove and a piece of...
Hiking up the trail is very dangerous. And this is our first zip. Here comes Judy. Thursday morning, and we are off to Bariloche, Argentina. Part of our trip across the Andes requires a transfer to this vehicle for crossing rivers where there are no roads. This is the continental divide that separates Chile from Argentina. There is Janice in Chile saying goodbye, Chile. We see hello, Argentina. Well, from Puebla, we've come 27 kilometers and what is that, 18 miles? And it's taken us 5 hours. And that's the road we came down. Now we have lunch at Hotel Puerto List. Now we take a small Argentina boat across this lake, about a 25-minute ride. Our last boat and our last lake, and then we are at Bariloche, Argentina. And there is the Lau Lau Hotel, perched on the hill between two lakes, with the Argentine flag waving in the wind. Built in the style of a Swiss chalet about 80 years ago. There is some debate how to pronounce the name of this hotel. Is it Lau Lau or is it something else? Our room is in the former servants' quarters section of the Lau Lau or Xiao Xiao Hotel. But the view from the room is magnificent. A brilliant Saturday morning, and we are taking a ski lift up to the top of the mountain, led by our guide Lucia. And this is the view from the top of the chairlift. Of course, Americans always say, "Don't cry for me, Argentina," but that's not how you say the name of the country.
No.
Here is Lucia, who will tell us how to properly say the name of this country.
It would be in a whole, no llores por mí, Argentina. That would be much better.
And there's our guide, Lionel. After leaving Lau Lau, or Xiao Xiao, we proceed to the town of 100,000, Bariloche, where everything is for tourists. The specialty of this town are chocolates, and this is apparently the place you're supposed to get them at. Sunday morning, Argentina finds us in the working area of Buenos Aires, and of course working area means working women. The buildings in this former slum area were all made of corrugated metal. Of course this area is a slum no more, it's a tourist trap with lots of tango and pretty pictures, with pretty statues on the second floor of most of the buildings. So with a farewell wave to Eva Perón, we move on to our next stop. This is the government house where Eva Perón said her farewell, but she did not sing right from that balcony, but she did not sing Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, because her skills were not in singing. Now imagine you are Eva Perón standing here a little off center on the square, interesting, speaking to a crowd full of people saying, I'm leaving office. Now we begin a exploration of the Red Palace, starting with Eva Perón, where she gave her final speech before she left as vice president and died of cancer. This is the room for formal presentations. All ambassadors are accepted in this room. This is where the cabinet meetings are held. This is the president's office. That was the secretary's office. And over here is a protest. They protest in Argentina 7 days a week. This is a protest by the veterans of the Falklands War, except they never went to the Falkland Islands, but they still want their pension. Looking down the street at the obelisk in the distance. It's Tuesday morning in Buenos Aires, and they are doing a yoga class in the park. And this is the view that they can look at as you do your yoga classes. This park is located in the Palermo district of Buenos Aires. We now come to the entrance of the main cemetery. The cemetery was started in 1822 and contains mausoleums for 48,000 people. There is property tax to be paid on each of these mausoleums every year, averaging about $20,000. So what happens if you can't afford the annual upkeep? They sell your grave out from under you. This Cafe La Villa, right next to the cemetery, is the place to come in Recoleta. Wednesday, 16 March, about 6:30 at sunrise, and there are the Iguazu Falls. This is a wow picture which I cannot really capture on the video camera, and this is only 40% of the falls. Every view is just incredibly different of these falls. Crossing over the top of waterfalls. Can't get closer to the edge of the top of a waterfall than this. Next, it's a train ride to the falls. After a nice hot hike, we come to the top of Devil's Throat Falls. This is Devil's Throat. Devil's Throat. This is Devil's Throat, and on the left-hand side is Brazil, and I am standing in Argentina. And there is the boat ride you can take into the falls to get wet and then drift downstream. These are the St. Martin Falls that we walked around this morning. And this is as close to the falls as one can get. Thursday morning, the 17th of March, and we are on the Brazilian side of Iguazu Falls that are beckoning us to look at them. Looking back at our Hotel the Sheraton from Brazil. Which are called 80s. And there is where the trail ends, with this incredible scenery and view. Feel the power of that waterfall. With the last look at the waterfalls, it's on to Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro on Copacabana Beach, where there's a scarcity of females in thongs, but there is exercise everywhere. Climbing up the stairs to see the official symbol of Rio, looking down at one of the numerous bays of the town. And this is the official symbol of Rio, the Christ. The Christ the Redeemer is 110 feet high and the arms are 84 feet wide. We are now in the area of samba schools, and this is what they look like, year-round building. We are now in one of the samba schools, and these are the actual floats that were in the carnival last week. We are here at the same time that President Obama and Michelle Obama are in Rio, and they are, of course, impacting our tour. Lunch next to the Sugarloaf cable car bottom with a mango tree coming out of the roof. And after lunch we go up to Sugarloaf, all the way up to there. Cable car is the third oldest in the world. The that is how fast we are moving. There's the original cable car that was used until 1972. This is the cable car in Moonraker that Jaws cut and dropped to the ground below. We'll have to check the movie out. And there's the Christ Redeemer mountain we were on earlier, where Obama is touring probably right now. And that's Copacabana Beach. And on the other side is Ipanema Beach. Well, here we are standing right above Copacabana Beach.
We are on Sugarloaf Mountain.
Here we are on Copacabana Beach. It's warm and sunny, and my camera could be ripped off me at any second. Looking down at Copacabana Beach in Rio, now made particularly safe as President Obama is due in from Brasilia this afternoon, and all the vendors have been shooed away. I guess it's time to end this video of our 14-day adventure through South America, Chile, Argentina, and Brazil.
And